WWE are planning a controversial return. A big change coming to Raw for Netflix. Ba-dum. And how Sami Zayn going to get pizza annoyed CM Punk and ruined the wrestling industry. I'm Ollie Davis, and this is the WrestleTalk news.
Support WrestleTalk!
Before I get into the video's top stories, mark down this day, Monday the 9th of December, because that is when the war begins. For the first time ever, me versus Luke in WWE 2K24's My GM mode in Mustache Night War. The draft day episode will be free for everyone to watch on Parts Unknown. And then the rest of the series will go up weekly exclusively on the WrestleTalk Patreon. Sign up to patreon.com/WrestleTalk to be ready and to binge all 12 episodes of the last Luke vs. Pete series that's exclusively on there now. I like pizza. Stuffed crust margarita. Preferably from the fridge section of the Co-op. It's my favourite food. I genuinely believe I could eat pizza for dinner every day for the rest of my life and not get bored of it. So it's deeply saddening that pizza is to blame for the internal crumbling of AEW. Several months ago, former AEW star Ryan Nemeth filed a complaint against All Elite Wrestling, outlining a timeline of abuse, harassment, and threats he faced while working in the company. It's mostly focused on the issues he had with CM Punk and how AEW handled the relationship between them. Watch Sat's news video for a deep dive on that, links in the video description below, because this video is about pizza. When discussing the Nemeth story, Wrestling Observer Radio inevitably referenced the whole Punk AEW drama that caused it, where the following alternative history observation was made. If Punk hadn't got so mad at Colt Cabana for going out to pizza with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, the entire wrestling business would be different today. I don't know what it would be, but it would be different. Cabana and Punk have been the bestest of wrestling friends up until that pizza point. But Dr. Chris Amann's defamation lawsuit against both of them in 2015, which Punk alleged was orchestrated by WWE, stretched their relationship to breaking point. As the story goes, Cabana went out for pizza with his friends Owens, Zayn and Pac back when all three of them worked for WWE, which made Punk angry because he felt he and Cabana shouldn't have any contact with anyone in WWE due to the lawsuit. That Cabana-Punk rift ultimately exploded 7 years later, and rumours emerged that Punk tried to get Cabana out of the promotion and the Elite sided with Cabana. The pizza story first came out in April 2023, as before then it was thought Punk and Cabana fell out when Cabana visited a WWE show backstage. That it was just with wrestlers who Cabana knew before they went to WWE in a pizza restaurant not owned by WWE does make it less legally incriminating. But it's interesting to bring this up now, given how Punk is back in WWE and is working more with two men who might empathise more with Cabana. Owens, who is a very close friend of the Young Bucks from their time in PWG, only said back in September of him and Punk, "Well, we have no relationship. No, we're not each other's type of people. I don't know that Punk's changed, and I don't care, to be honest. I am who I am, he is who he is, and it's fine that way." And Sami admitted in a recent episode of WWE Playback, "I think there was just some unresolved stuff between he and I. And we hadn't spoken in how many years at this time, so seeing him back at first was like, okay, but where pizza was once a food of hurt. Thankfully, Punk is trying to rehabilitate it as a delicious slice of healing." Following the NXT show in Chicago on the 1st of October, Punk bought everyone who attended the show pizza and hung around afterwards to hand them out, which led NXT champion Trick Williams to say, "I didn't meet CM Punk until after the rumours about his character were brought about from other places. I didn't know what to expect when I met him. But all I'm gonna say is that dude, Punk, man, good dude. Like, solid. You can just tell when some people are just genuine, and he's very genuine. He takes pride in helping us, the next generation, to become the superstars that we need to be. He gives us real advice too. He talks about how to handle yourself in the ring, outside the ring, with everything it takes to become a superstar." But Punk isn't the only WWE wrestler with a good reputation backstage. Because WrestleVotes is reporting, even though he hardly ever defends his tag team titles, everyone loves Finn. As we approach the 10-year anniversary of Finn Balor in WWE, sources tell us he's solidified himself as a true locker room leader over the past year or so. In addition, we are told to expect a sustained singles push for Finn as we head into 2025. Balor is currently one half of the Raw Tag Team Champions, and he's set to challenge for Gunther's World Heavyweight title at Saturday night's main event, which will almost definitely involve Damian Priest interference. Interestingly, over on the SmackDown side of things, Cody Rhodes has told Jazz's World TV who he sees as the locker room leaders. Here's the thing I think people don't know about Bayley. She's probably the actual current locker room leader. Like, if you've got a captain, you know, the C on the jersey, it's probably her and Randy Orton. In terms of if you need something done, hey, such and such doesn't need to be late anymore. Hey, we need energy for this show. She's the locker room leader, and she should be. Now I want to know who's turning up for SmackDown late. Good luck having that conversation with Roman. At the same time, Bayley has told the 5 Count that being a locker room leader is actually one of her 2025 New Year's resolutions. For me, 2025 can be more of a leadership role. Not that I'm going to be out of the ring, but my goal is more bigger picture type things where I want to see the women's division keep continuing the success that we've had these last few years, and really start to take over and main event more shows, sell out more merch, and keep getting big. Wherever I can fit in on that, I'll do my best at. Good luck with that, Bayley, because your locker room is about to add 2 of the biggest egos to ever exist in wrestling. It's been reported that WWE is planning a series of surprise legends to feature on the nostalgia-heavy Saturday night's main event on the 14th of December. PW Insider has already reported that Jimmy Hart has been booked, although he was probably just going to hang around the venue anyway. And now WrestleVotes Radio is reporting the former WWF Women's Champion Wendy Richter and Jesse the Body Ventura are also being discussed, as they both featured on the first ever Saturday night's main event 40 years ago, with Richter then beating the fabulous Moolah on that show. But apparently, WWE also want to bring in the 2 wrestlers who competed in the main event of that Saturday night's main event. Challenger Cowboy Bob Orton, father of Randy Orton, who was beaten by the then WWF champion, the immortal Hulk Hogan. Immortal in that, no matter how controversies he has, WWE will still book him. Another controversial figure, albeit in a different way, is Rock the Dwayne Johnson. At the start of this year, The Rock didn't just return to WWE, he took a position on TKO's board, WWE's parent company. In a very odd dynamic, Paul Levesque found himself stuck between booking The Rock as an on-screen talent and also taking orders from The Rock as he's kind of now boss. There's been a lot of debate, though, over how The Rock will factor into WWE's plans for 2025. And apparently, it's not even a WWE decision, it's up to The Rock. Even though it very much felt like The Rock was building a match with Cody Rhodes after WrestleMania 40, and The Rock even appeared at the end of Bad Blood to tease another showdown with Cody and Roman Reigns, it's been reported by both the Wrestling Observer and Fightful Select that The Rock isn't currently factored into their Mania 41 plans. PW Insider has now given their version of the unique dynamic. Here's the deal. WWE works on their creative, and if/when The Rock tells them this is what he'd like to do, they change accordingly. If The Rock wants to do something that's as good as Ari Emanuel telling Paul Levesque and the creative team, this is what will happen, and then it will. So they have their plans, and they will pivot if and when Rock descends down from the board of directors in Hollywood. If he has an idea or a direction he wants to do, they're going to lean into it, even if he's been away for an extended period. This actually exactly played out at the start of this year. Levesque seemingly had Cody plan to finish his story at WrestleMania 40, even winning the Royal Rumble match to get him his main event title shot. But The Rock, he had his own idea, which was The Rock main eventing WrestleMania, and WWE briefly went with it in spite of their own long-term booking. It was a disaster, and The Rock agreed to pivot back to Cody. Whatever happens, it will most likely all go down on Netflix's Raw, with The Rock being a huge attraction for both WWE and the streaming platform. His Red Notice movie is inexplicably Netflix's most watched movie of all time. That eggs a draw. And The Rock isn't the only big name likely returning for the Netflix debut. as Michael Cole and Pat McAfee will be reuniting on commentary for the show, with Pat posting, "An absolute honour to be asked back. A childhood dream realised every single time I'm lucky enough to be in an arena with the WWE Universe. Can't wait to be talking into a microphone next to Michael Cole again. He's the GOAT-emoji. I'm excited to tell the worldwide audience on Netflix how great the WWE superstars are, and how big of scumbags some of them are too. Let's go!" Raw's current announcers are Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett. With Pat returning as a colour commentator, it could mean one of either Barrett or Corey Graves loses out. But Raw will reportedly have another interesting new way of doing things on Netflix. PW Insider is reporting that Raw will be broadcast live on the platform, regardless of where it's being taped from. That means, for instance, if Raw is hosted over here in the United Kingdom, like it will be for the European Road to WrestleMania tour, with the 24th of March episode from Glasgow and the 31st of March episode from London, it will be broadcast live as it happens at 8 p.m. British time, meaning it will air in the early afternoon in the US. The episode will then be available on demand as soon as it goes off air, similar to how Peacock currently treats international premium live events from the likes of Australia, France, or Germany. But the best thing streaming right now is Video Game Club. Click the video on screen now to watch Laurie, Tilly, John, and Sullivan play Towerfall.